Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for the third episode of season 2 of the What If Marvel show, What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas. Now, as I mentioned in my previous videos, because I will be going extensively through the cast, that may be a little bit spoilery. I'll also talk about some of the details of the plot. So, if you haven't seen this, we're gonna have spoilers up ahead. So come, go watch the episode, come back. It's only about 25 minutes and then you can watch the video. So, in this episode, Happy Hogan sets out to prove his hero chops when Justin Hammer lays siege to Avengers Tower during the annual holiday party. This is pretty much their homage to Die Hard, the first Die Hard movie. So in this episode, we have Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher. Kobe Smulders comes back as Maria Hill. Lake Bell voices Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow. We also have Kat Dennings as Darcy. John Favreau voices Happy Hogan. Returning as well, Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. Jeremy Renner returns as Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye. Chris Hemsworth as Thor. And we do have Mick Wingert as Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. We don't really have Steve is in the episode. Captain America is in the episode. He doesn't really say much. So I don't think I don't think we got Chris Evans to come back to do some of that voicing. I didn't put it in the notes, but I think it's because it was not Chris Evans. So there's not a lot of you see Captain America, there's not a lot of Captain America. I will say this is one of the episodes that I was looking forward to the most, and it was a bit of a letdown because I wanted you know what, I wanted just to them to do Die Hard, but with Happy Hogan, and instead what we got was it's gonna look like that's what's gonna happen, but then Happy Hogan's gonna turn into like this Hulk thing, and then shenanigans are gonna ensue, which it turned out to be still, pretty entertaining, kind of fun. But I just really wish that we had just gone all in on the Die Hard of it all. Also, I feel like they only made the design of that whole character that Happy turns into so grotesque and weird to kind of throw everyone off with the episode starts with like them fighting this giant purple hulkling like the Avengers, and then it flashes back to 2 hours earlier, and then you kind of see how they got there. I don't know that it was worth sacrificing the design. I think it would have been cool for Happy to look like I don't know. It almost looked like they were going for some halfway point between Abomination and Hulk, and I guess that kind of makes sense, like within the MCU logic, because only Bruce Banner would be the one that kind of looks like a Hulk. Everything else would be a little bit of an abomination of his work, even if Tony Stark is the one working on the blood. Also, why is Tony fucking around with Iron Man with Hulk blood? He should know better. With this, and then him costing Ultron, like Tony's just kind of a fuck up. One of the highlights, though, I think Kat Dennings returning as Darcy, who continues to intern wherever she goes in the MCU. That's really funny. It's a really fun running joke. Um, I think Darcy must come from like a wealthy family or have some kind of like Stark Foundation scholarship or something that maybe Shield has arranged, because otherwise, how does she make a living if she just kind of interns at different places and has been in school forever? Also, another highlight, Sam Rockwell. I wish they had leaned more into it, but it's really nice to have him back. I always wondered like why they haven't used the character of Justin Hammer more. Hopefully that changes with the upcoming Armor Wars, and maybe he's more involved. But yeah, all the other Avengers you get to see very little. It's always fun to hear Lake Bell voice Black Widow, because she is the voice of Poison Ivy in the Harley show. So I find that very interesting as well, that they would have picked Lake Bell. But I'm glad they keep that continuity, and I believe Mick Wingert, who voices Tony, has done so in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon. The voice sounds very familiar to that one. Please feel free to correct me in the comments if that's not the case. So yeah, this one, not my favorite. It was, like I said, I think I built it up too much in myself, and the story kind of just ends up the way you would think a story like this would go. I wish they had kind of picked a lane where they either lean into the going full Die Hard, or lean full into the comedy of it all. they kind of went in the middle, and it just didn't really fully work for me. Um, yeah, and even with, like I said, character design on this one for the Hulkling that Happy turns into, I was not a big fan of. Everyone else looks cool. Like I said, this animation style has grown on me a little bit, so I think I don't have a problem with that. We also have Thor show up for like a minute for a one last punchline, so which makes sense because if he had shown up, like he would have ended Hammer's advances very quickly. So yeah, I don't know. This one was just not it, but like I said, Kat Dennings highlight. I love her in the MCU, and I hope Darcy keeps coming back for more stuff in the future. So if you've seen this episode, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. If you're watching this on the release date, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. And as always, stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.